When I assumed headship of the ministry in January 2012, and within that context, responsibility for the JUTC, the entity was close to collapse. Daily outturn of buses was approximately 240 and decreasing as the lack of critically needed spare parts forced the maintenance department into the technology of cannibalizing buses to maintain a presence on the roads. As the daily runout decreased, the number of illegal operators grew, leading, not unexpectedly, to fears of a return to the chaotic situation which characterized the public transportation system prior to the establishment of the JUTC. This administration, as the one which established the JUTC, made the firm commitment that we would not go back to the pre-JUTC years. The management and board in early 2012, they pointed to the need for a fare increase as the JUTC was increasing its debt to all creditors. Despite the justified need for a fare increase then, I told them that I would not take any such request to cabinet until I could demonstrate clear evidence of improvements in the level of service, as well as a sustainable plan for improvement over the medium term. We have continuously sought to provide significant financial support, even while striving for higher levels of efficiency and customer service. This support has continued over the last 12 months, August 2013 to August 2014, to the tune of approximately $2 billion. Some of the initiatives taken, one is the major change was the introduction of the Smarter card for the primary purpose of reducing cash on the buses, as well as the proper administration and accountability of the government subsidy. There are several specific and significant examples of improvement which demonstrate that we are on the way to providing the commuters of the Kingston metropolitan region with a modern, world-class public transportation system. 12 months ago, the JUTC was operating an average of 240 buses daily, earning average monthly revenues of $240 million and carrying approximately 4.3 million passengers per month. As of April 2014, the JUTC was dispatching 400 buses and is positioned to increase this total to just under 450 in September. This increased capacity is due to three main factors. One, an increase in the fleet by an additional 55 new buses in September 2013, a year ago, including 20 articulated buses and a further 69 buses in July 2014. The revamping of the maintenance operations following the delivery of spare parts. The reforms which came into effect as of April this year, for which the positive results are not simply increased order to the transportation system, but also quantifiable performance statistics. There was an increase in ridership by 28% and revenue by 58% compared to the previous period. The average monthly revenue earned since April 2014 was $366 million, and the average ridership in the same period was 5.1 million. Losses have been decreased from 250 million per month to 160 million last month. Despite the achievements of the JUTC and the additional support provided by the government, the company continues to lose significant sums as revenues continue to be outpaced by expenditure. For fuel, of April to July of 2014, the cost of fuel was $685 million compared to $500 million for the same period last year, an increase of 37%. Those two periods, 62 million this year and 37 million last year, an increase of 68%. And in terms of the repairs and maintenance, this year, 405 million compared to 142 million. This reflects the changes in the cost of the spare parts, because the spare parts are coming from Europe. Despite the challenging economic times, there is clear evidence that members will fully appreciate the justification of any adjustment to the fares for the JUTC. The reality is that the current fare levels are inadequate, and despite the challenges which we know any increase will pose for the traveling public, we have to face this reality. The fact is that the JUTC cannot continue on the track of seeking to run a first world service but not contributing adequately to the revenues.
You know what bus your child is on, we'll be able to tell you and put it on the screen and show you where your child is. So we are ramping up our technology in a very serious way. Next week, Sunday, the 31st, the JUTC will publish our service standards in the newspaper. Big double truck newspaper. We'll tell you every route, how many buses are on it, and what is the frequency and the headways on every single route. So you should be able to hold JUTC to a standard.